I'm very fortunate to win this tournament, 2 times already, and I see myself, if I stay out here about another 10 years, I'll win it a couple more times too. But I think that's just mostly, I think they recognize me as a personality person. I mean, it's like the first year I was out, in '02. I mean, the whole time in '02, they thought I was a cartoon character. I mean, that's every newsletter, every time I did our interview is, hey, boo boo, and how'd you get your name through cartoons, and this and that. And so, I mean, it's just more, I think the tour needs me in the fact of my personality, that I'm open and, I'll say some things that, it might be wrong. It ain't going to be, politically correct, but I'm going to say them because that's the only way I know how to say them. He kind of came to me and he asked me, he said, well, where do you think you fit in best at? I told him, I said, man, it don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here. I mean, you can stick me out there toting the bags out the car if that's what you want to do. I just want to be a part of something, and I'm happy to be a part of something. And he finally said, look, he said, I'm going to stick you in this group. I said, that's fine, that's perfect. I'll play with Phil, I'll play with Anthony, I'll play with any of them. He said, nah, I don't know about you. You little rambunctious for that bunch. So I said, stick me where you want to stick me, And then finally he ended up sticking me with J.B. Holmes, Jim Furyk, and Kenny Perry, and they started calling us the redneck quad, So I got to ask Jim, I said, how'd you become a redneck? How'd you get in this? He said, I don't know, but it feels pretty good to be a part of a redneck clan. So, okay. But we had a good time. Paul actually, he did a lot of work. I mean, he put a lot of thinking into how he set us up, how the golf course was going to set up. I mean, there's one hole out there, JB was like, man, I just can't hit it over this one tree. I can't hit it over this corner of this tree. And Paul said, well, what you want me to do? What you want me to do? He said, man, if you could just cut that one limb. He said, done. They went and got a lift. Went out there with a chainsaw. They cut it down for him. Just for JB so he can hit it. I got a couple family members that are overseas right now fighting in the war that, I just pray every night that you bring them all back. Everybody. Not just mine, but everybody. That's a tough situation for me. And then for the guys, last year I think was the first year here when we got hooked up with it. And then we got talking with Mark Siegel, the guy that kind of oversees the shirt, just whatever Firethorn stuff, and we got to talking, and he said, this would be an awesome project right here to get this going and see if we can raise money for the vets that come back that are hurt, the wounded warriors. And he asked me if I'd be objected to it, and I said, man, I loved it. Why wouldn't I? So if there's any way that this coming up year that I'm gonna have green shirts on just like y'all are, I mean that's what I'm gonna wear. And I got it on the sleeve of my shirt right here for the Wounded Warriors. And then I think for every birdie I make, kind of like the same thing BJ does with the money that he gives back to the St. Jude's and stuff, I'm going to do the same thing to give money to the Wounded Warriors.